On today's Star Wars Legends lore video, we count down the 5 greatest Corvettes of all time. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars Top 5 list. Today's video is sponsored by the EckhartsLadder Twitter. Want to connect with me on a personal level between videos, hear my inane ramblings, or just see pictures of my dogs? All of that and more is available to you simply by following me on Twitter at EckhartsLadder. Let's get on with the list, and I'm going to try to keep it pretty short and quick today. We are counting down what I believe to be the 5 greatest Corvettes in Star Wars history. Previously, when talking about this ship type, some of you correctly identified that I was a bit too narrow in my determination of what constitutes a Corvette. I didn't give enough credit to the CR-90, for instance, because it didn't have many anti-starfighter weapons. Today, we'll be considering all Corvette types, whether starfighter screeners, capital ship hunters, or something in between. Corvettes are basically any ship of a certain size, typically under 200 meters, although there is one exception on this list, with a focus on speed and maneuverability. You should note that ship types in Star Wars aren't always clean cut. Corvettes are similar to frigates, which are slightly larger, or sometimes gunships, which are smaller. The Lancer class, for example, is technically classified as a frigate, but I see no reason why it's not also a Corvette. Our ship occupying the number 5 spot actually straddles this line as well, the Vigil class Corvette, a creation of Fractal Sponge, which was later incorporated into Star Wars Legends continuity. The Vigil was an incredibly versatile ship. It was meant to operate alone in space in some of the Empire's backwater sectors, so it was armed with 3 heavy turbo lasers, 3 twin light turbo lasers, and 3 laser cannons. With this loadout, it could not only take on starfighters, but also larger ships. The Vigil is very bulky and doesn't necessarily fit the typical profile of a Corvette. It's also large at 250 meters. I think it warrants inclusion just because it seems to be a fairly well-designed and effective vessel. I'm not sure if it would really have a place in one of my fleets just because it's a bit too focused on multi-role capabilities. I think you could take half of the Vigil's aspects and make it into a small quick Corvette, while taking the other half and making it into a larger frigate. Still, it's meant to operate independently, so its design actually serves it well in its intended purpose. For that reason and the fact that I love the design, it gets the number 5 spot. At number 4, we have the CR-92A. I see this ship as a slightly heavier punching, but also more efficient version of the CR-90. Although it carries more firepower with 6 double turbo lasers and 2 quad laser cannons, the CR-92A, or the Assassin, is actually smaller than the CR-90, likely getting rid of redundant systems and things like unnecessary crew quarters. The ship also has a sleeker profile and a much less prominent engine block. This helps protect against the blind spots experienced by the CR-90. I like that the Assassin has heavier weapons than the standard CR-90, so it can operate even more effectively as a sort of quick capital ship killer. However, like the Millennium Falcon, it also has a pair of quad laser cannons, which allows it to operate a little bit more independently without having to worry about being undefended from starfighter attacks. Along with enhanced weapon systems, the CR-92A also has a thicker hull, better shield technology, and a likely similar speed when compared with the CR-90. It takes a good civilian design modified for warfare and completely militarizes it, giving you an incredibly effective Corvette and the 4th best ship on our list. At number 3, we have the Marauder class Corvette, a ship most prominently used by the Corporate Sector Authority. Given the resource limitations of the CSA, the Marauder Corvette kind of works like the Vigil. It would patrol sectors on its own or sometimes operate as part of a larger fleet. For that reason, it's unsurprising that it's geared towards a multi-role purpose. Offensively, it manages to include a staggering 8 double turbo lasers, which gives it more firepower than most ships its size or smaller. Although the Marauder doesn't make use of laser cannons, it has space for an entire squadron of starfighters, which is incredible considering the ship comes in at under 200 meters. I quite like the Marauder. Again, I see it as a better version of the Vigil. It brings with it a lot more firepower, and those 12 starfighters it brings with it offers a lot in strategic flexibility. At number 2, we have the Raider II class Corvette. For full disclosure, although this is a Legends only list, some of the information I'm using for this video comes from Star Wars Battlefront 2. I really like the Raider 2. While the Marauder, the Vigil, and to a lesser extent the CR-92A are either multi-role vessels or anti-capital ship corvettes, the Raider 2 leans a little bit more into the anti-starfighter role. Now that itself doesn't put it higher on the list, but the effectiveness in which it's able to fill the role does. The Raider has 6 double laser cannons, 2 medium double turbo lasers, and a concussion missile launcher. When zipping around the battlefield, the 3 weapons on each side of the Raider have long lines of sight and are effectively able to pick off starfighters. I just really love the design of this ship. The weapons are in sensible places, they can see a lot of the battlefield, and it's a very narrow and thin ship, making it a small target. With 2 double turbo lasers and a set of concussion missile launchers, a Raider corvette is also able to damage larger ships. I mean, it doesn't have the most firepower, but for a ship of its size with its likely speed and focus on anti-starfighter support, I think what it does have is more than sufficient. As I mentioned, the Raider is the first ship on this list that really leans into that anti-starfighter role, but it's just a good ship, period. Also, we see in Battlefront 2 that it has at least some hangar space, so there is room to take starfighters into battle. At number 1, we have the Crusader class corvette, a Mandalorian designed ship used by the Zon Consortium. The Crusader is basically what would happen if someone designed a ship that was supposedly best in every single category. It was among the fastest ships in the galaxy. With 12 laser cannons, it was brimming with weapons. It also had an extraordinarily advanced point defense system, which is perfect for a corvette. Where the Raider leans heavily into the anti-starfighter role, the Crusader goes all in. But with its combination of firepower, advanced targeting systems, and weaponry, the Crusader is an incredible addition to literally any fleet. If I wanted a starfighter screener for my fleet, this would be it. Those were the top 5 corvettes, in my opinion, from Star Wars Legends. Did I miss one? Is there a ship that's sometimes called a frigate that you think deserves a spot on this list? Let me know all of that and more down in the comment section. Thanks as always for watching my content, and if you want more, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Until next time guys, this has been EckhartsLadder. May the Force be with you.